shoots first ends up going on to win the penalty shootout. And ideally speaking, you don't want to leave your best penalty shooter to take your last kick, because that kick may not come around. You want to set the tone early, don't you?
You do, and it was funny, I was talking with John Herdman recently, and he said the most important shooter with all his tournament history and statistically is the second shooter.
Well, TFC is going to shoot first, and it's through Alejandro Pozuelo. His last 3 goals in MLS play have all come from the penalty spot, but over the course of those 3 makes, he did miss in what was his second penalty of the night against New York City FC. He missed going right at that time. He can go both ways. Diop on his line, Pozuelo to take. Pozuelo picks the left-hand corner. Easy as can be. Perfection from Pozuelo.
Cool penalty. That's a long walk up in front of the South End, who've been fantastic for the last 90 minutes. Just a slight hesitation for Diop to go and strokes it home into the bottom corner. Canadian legend there in the middle of your screen, Patrice Bernier. Former penalty taker for the Impact.
Yes. No Panenka that time for Pozuelo. Imagine that.
I was thinking, no, don't do the Panenka.
Bojan, the former Barcelona man. Faces Bono. Bojan. Power, placement. It had both. 1-1.
It's the power that beats Bono. He guesses right. Almost dives over top of it. I think maybe a flatter dive. Maybe he gets it. It's important, too, the communication between the goalkeeper coach and set-piece specialists as well. Any history on where the players go is important.
Altidore next up for Toronto FC. If it's not Pozuelo, it's Altidore who takes penalties for this Toronto FC side. Altidore. Josie Barr kicks the ball into the south stand in frustration. He looked leggy after the 90 minutes, had a word with his head coach. Denied by the woodwork. Advantage Impact.
Yeah, he tries to go straight down the middle. I think the idea was right. Just couldn't quite execute. Just asking Alex Bono to make a save for him here.
Altidore's still chatting with Bono. Lovitz came on in the 90th minute as a substitute. Can he make it count? Lovett loves it. Bottom left. The former Toronto FC player puts the Impact up 2-1.
It was a confident penalty. He knew his spot. Just opens up his hips at the last moment and kicks right through it.
You see Patrice Bernier, what that means to him. Last time in the Canadian Championship at BMO Field, he was sent off before Javinko won it.
Interesting.
Substitute Mullins quickly takes it. Diop saves. His tactic doesn't pay off. Let the ball Diop. Clement comes up huge for Montreal.
Wow, short run up. Doesn't fool Diop.
Generally, Terry, don't you want the player to take their time, take a breath?
I mean, each player is different. She tries to catch Diop, beat him with pure power. It was at a nice height for him to make a save.
Rudy Camacho, the 28-year-old center back. Rudy! The Camacho man gets it. And the Impact are on the brink. Impact. Jonathan Osorio, the George Gross Memorial winner last season. has to score this, or the Voyageurs Cup goes to Montreal. Osorio. Oh, so off the post! The Impact have done it! They are the kings of the North! Montreal comes into hostile territory, comes into a place they'd never won in the Canadian Championship, and they're taking home the hardware. Your 2019 Canadian Championship winners are the Montreal Impact. Penalty heartbreak for Toronto FC. Denied just over a year ago in the CONCACAF Champions League final. And tonight, against their staunch rival in the Montreal Impact. And for the first time since 2014, the Voyageurs Cup is going back to the Belle Province. Terry Dunfield, some people won't like that the game's settled in a penalty shootout. But it's still part of the game, isn't it? And Toronto FC just 1 of 4, denied twice by the woodwork.
Full credit to the Montreal Impact. I thought it was brave for them to go toe-to-toe with TFC, especially in that second half. Really, it could have gone either way. And then the Impact do the business. Just one thing I noticed before the penalties, the Impact really came together collectively. There was a huddle around Wilmer Cabrera. His job was probably on the line. I think he needed to win this Canadian Championships to potentially lead the Impact next season. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. Shows how important it was, and the Impact were clinical. And unfortunately for TFC, I think the Josie Altidore miss set the tone for the rest of the shootout.